So it's such a great pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to the first ever virtual Six of the Best. Let's make some noise, people, because we're not with each other. Welcome to Six of the Best, some of my very favorite people on the show tonight. And I call it a show because without the fans, there is no show, right? Let me tell you a little bit about Six of the Best. We're currently live on YouTube. And the reason why we're live on YouTube is the interest in Six of the Best has been absolutely unbelievable. And to keep it down to just six of us would have been virtually impossible. So what we decided to do is have about 10 or 12 people on the call and be able to simulate a television show, while at the same time allowing all our friends to join us on YouTube and hashtag Six of the Best to stay in the conversation and to be part of it all. So what is Six of the Best? Six of the Best came about when a fan from Cape Town, a very passionate Proteas fan, Wasifa Danse, tweeted me and said, hey, I need to have coffee with you to talk about the Proteas. So I'm just so unhappy about how badly they're doing. We need to catch up for coffee. And then I thought, well, as a commentator, I sit in the commentary box and all we do is talk about cricket. But the fans really, really want to have their voices heard. So that is how Six of the Best was birthed. We had our first one in Cape Town. We've been to the Wanderers. I've been to Mumbai and I've had an amazing session there with the North Stand gang. And then, of course, we were in Lahore at the Lahore Gymkhana session. And I was just amazed by the support from everyone that has gotten involved in Six of the Best. So tonight, what's really exciting for me is that we've got some new people on the session and we've got some people on the session before. I want to introduce you, though, they say visitors come first, right? So I want to introduce you first to Vinay Handa, who is from Surrey in the UK. Vinay, thank you so much for joining us. It's good to have you on the session. You have a young son who plays cricket, so as a young mom, I tell you, it's always very exciting to meet parents who are so passionate about supporting their children. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Kass. Yeah, it's great to be a part of this as well. And like you said, yeah, I have a young son who's been into cricket for a good few years, and yeah, it's just helping improve his development. But no, it's just great to be on board and seeing all these people.
Well, you are outnumbered by all the South Africans, but I'm trying to be the brave one here for all of us and hope that they don't on the other side of being those very, very overly proud South Africans in front of a world champion. Congratulations once again. I believe you can never overly congratulate a world champion. So Vinay, welcome and thank you so much for joining Six of the Best. I'd like to welcome, next up, let me welcome Selina Munsami, one of the biggest supporters of this initiative, of the work that I do, of women in sport in South Africa, of cricket in the country. She's the Brand SA G Sport Supporter of the Year, and it's a great pleasure to have you on the session tonight, Selina. Thank you so much for all that you do for South African sport.
Hi, Kass. Good evening, everybody. It's so awesome to be here tonight. And welcome to you, Vinay. Well, to be honest, I'm also a very big England fan, so you got one in your corner tonight as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we have two England selectors already putting their hands up. Nice
that's going to give a lot of trouble as well with everybody.
Well, Selina, and I'm going to allow you to also chip in on some of the England selection. Let's see how that goes with the England selection. Let me introduce you to the Big Vern. Right? You're wondering what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, Russell Renneker is the resident Big Vern. Everybody thinks he is Vernon Philander. And I asked him earlier today about Glenton Stearman, who's come into the team, and people are saying he's the new Vernon Philander. Russell Renneker, welcome. A Six of the Best original. Good to have you on the show tonight.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be back. Six of the Best is just, that's awesome. You might be the next Big Vern, but I was the first Big Vern before Vernon was Big Vern. But But yeah, just a pleasure to always be here. Hi to everybody. It's cool to see some familiar faces and to see some new faces. So hopefully,
yeah, there's certainly some familiar faces, but I'm going to go to a brand new face. Orabile Dipoko is a young woman in sport. I had to have her on the session. You know how passionate I am about women being able to find their voice and to get into their own. It's not an easy environment. It's still very male dominated. And when Orabile wrote to me, she wrote me such a beautiful email. I love your story, Orabile, how you spoke about how cricket brought you closer to your father. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Hi, Kass. Hi to everyone that is here. Thank you so much for having me. This is an absolute honor. Basically, what happened with my father is that I think, divorce, I think people that come from divorced families understand and know what happens. So, we were estranged for a little bit, but I started watching cricket, I think, when I was 14. I just went to high school and they were playing it at Boys High. And I was like, wow. I sat and I actually watched it the entire afternoon. And ever since then, I had something to talk to my father about. So when I saw this opportunity on Twitter, I was like, I have to get in on it. And I'm so glad to be here.
Well, I don't know you very well, but I'm a very, very good judge of character. And generally, they say it takes about 30 seconds. I see you as a future face of cricket if you're ever interested.
Ooh, don't do that.
Nah,
I'm so
look
excited.
at that. And ask everybody on the call. I don't say things that I don't mean. And I see Cabela's laughing, so I better just bring him in. One of the Six of the Best originals also. We were at the CSA VIP suite together at Newlands. Cabela, thank you for being on the call. You have a big smile on your face. It's an initiative that has really given us so much, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. It was a very nice opportunity just to come and see you and see all the Six of the Best. So I'm very happy to be here again.
Well, a man of very few words, but I'm going to get more out of him a little bit later on because that's my skill. Nishka Sukdev is also another young woman in sport. How's this for women representation? I did not plan this, by the way. I just want to let you know it's not planted. It's extremely authentic. Nishka, welcome. It's so good to have you on the session. What are you hoping to get out of tonight?
To meet fellow cricket supporters, fans. Make a few friends.
And what is the big dream for cricket?
What is the big dream for cricket?
Yes, for you. What do you want? If I could wave a magic wand right now, what would you like to achieve?
I would like a career in cricket if I could get that. But yeah.
Well, I tell you what, by the end of the session, you're going to have a fairly good idea of what your next move is going to be, and you're going to have a good number of supporters around you. And keeping Cohen for the end because he deserves to be kept for the end for various reasons we'll discuss just now. But Luba Balo is one of my favorite on cricket Twitter. For me, if I want to know what's happening with domestic cricket, I go to his account because he's so passionate about seeing young stars come through. So if I want to know who's the next crop of Proteas, I check out my favorite coach from the Eastern Cape. Luba Balo, good to have you on the show. I'm sure you are delighted to have 4-day cricket live streamed on SuperSport.
Hi, Kass. Yeah, I'm very excited to be part of the Six of the Best. Hi, everyone. And yeah, it's even though it's stopping me from doing a lot of work here, I'm supposed to be working, but I'm watching a lot of cricket. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Having some cricket on, some domestic cricket on my screen. It has been exciting so far.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on when we're discussing selection about some of the young guns that may think that they were unlucky to have missed out on this 24-man squad. Let me bring Cohen in. His email was hilarious. He's always the guy who is so honest, right? He'll tell you, cricket has been in such a horror state. I've lost all my mojo, but he's back. Here tonight, one of the Six of the Best originals. Why have you come back? What do you want? I thought you'd fallen out of love with cricket, but here you are. You're back, Cohen.
Here I am. And already, Cabela's wearing a fantastic football shirt. The Babala's from the Eastern Cape, where I'm originally from. So, already I've made 2 new friends. So no, I, as I said to you, I was looking for that ignition. I was looking for that spark, that flame, that would, and I think everybody's waiting that little spark, that little moment that gets us to move away from all the drama and focus on the passion for the game again.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about passion. And I find with so much that happens in terms of the negative, it's the passion that really keeps us believing and believing in more. I've saved the best for last, have I? I'm going to hold on to her because she's the special woman tonight. It's the 4th birthday of the Pop Increase. So I want to do a really good introduction for her. Janine and Jessica are meant to be on the call. Janine and Jessica October. Are they on the call? I saw Janine on the call. Well, let me get to the Pop Increase. Let me get to Fatima. 4th birthday this year. I thought it was incredible because I had a sneaky little memory that we spent the 3rd birthday of the Pop Increase together in Cape Town. Fatima, happy birthday, congratulations, and welcome to a very special edition of the Six of the Best.
Thank you so much, Kass. It's absolutely a pleasure to be here with everyone, all these absolutely brilliant cricket fans.
How have you been enjoying this 4th birthday of the Pop Increase? I mean, you do such excellent work in keeping us all up to date.
Well, thank you very much. It's a challenge. It's very hard work at times, but it's been a very chill day. Been quite poor weather in Cape Town today, this morning especially. So I was just chilling on the couch, basically.
Well, a Londoner who is a South African fan, so this could go pretty spicy this evening, but I'm going to start off with a spicy topic anyway, so let's get going with it. What I'm finding at the moment is there's a lot of outrage on social media, and I found that today as well. Black Lives Matter became another big talking point on cricket Twitter, and people started DMing me and asking me what are my thoughts about the Proteas potentially not taking a knee. And I thought, are we back here? I mean, 4 months ago, Lungi Ngidi made us all sit up and take notice and really make us question where our hearts were when it came to change. And here we are, outraged once again. Is the outrage valid? Are we allowed to be cross? Are the reports true? What do you guys make of this Black Lives Matter chat? Who wants to go first? Who wants to give their view on what they've seen on cricket Twitter in terms of the outrage on Black Lives Matter?
I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah, hit me.
Well, in terms of South Africa not saying they're not going to take a knee, I think it's very interesting that Chris Jordan from England said that he believes real changes will only happen behind closed doors and that it's not going to happen on field with public displays. And I think that's absolutely true. That's how real change really happens. And that's what we, in the end, that's what we want to see. So however it happens, however long it takes, as long as real change is happening, that's the goal.
Look, Hala, I want to bring you in here and I want to ask you, what do you think is the meaning of taking a knee? When you hear that conversation, when you hear people talking about the Proteas and their attitude towards that, what is the significance for you?
For me, it's purely and basically just saying, well, I stand with Black Lives Matter. It's as simple as that for me. You take the knee. All you're saying is, I stand with Black Lives Matter. But we all know there's a bit of misunderstanding when it comes to Black Lives Matter. There will be certain people asking, are you saying other lives don't matter? But that's not the case. You're basically saying Black Lives Matter. And there's reasons for that. For instance, I was surprised that the Proteas decided not to take the knee, considering our history when it comes to race and stuff. And I'm not even talking about away from the cricket field, but I'm talking in terms of the cricket field, especially with the stories that came out from some of the retired players. So I would have thought the Proteas would actually take the knee, especially looking at teams like West Indies. They've been taking the knee. England has been taking the knee. So you'd expect a South African team to say, well, trek back to guys like Mandela. I'm sure he probably would have wanted to see the Proteas saying, well, as the Proteas, we stand with Black Lives Matter. So it's a bit of a surprise for me. At the same time, I also do believe that people should not be forced to take the knee if they don't feel it's important to take the knee.
I want to bring Vinay in here because the ECB did a really good job, I thought, of celebrating Black Lives Matter. I think they were able to handle the communication around it so well, and then the authentic messaging around it. Vinay, do you want to come in here and tell me from a fan's perspective, how did you experience the summer in England and how they approach BLM?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the summer for cricket, it was featured on Sky Sports, and a couple of the presenters, there was Michael Holding and Ebony, the English international.
Ebony Rainford-Brent, yes.
Yeah, they had quite a kind of moving documentary as such about the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and that was received quite well. And I think the way that the broadcasters handled giving them the time to talk about their experiences, that's what was key, I thought, giving them the time in terms of talking through what they experienced as young players when they travelled overseas as well. I think it really kind of gave information and knowledge to the people who did not know much about it. So, you know, that's fair play to the broadcasters as well in terms of giving them the time and giving them the awareness.
I think it does come down to collaboration, and it's a challenging situation further in South Africa because of our history. So various people experience this pain on so many different levels. Rabile, when you looked at Cricket Twitter today and you saw the discussion around Black Lives Matter, as a young Black woman, what would you like to see from cricket in terms of really showing its support for change?
I think we're going about it the right way. And also, I've realized that the conversation will always arise whenever there are two nations meeting. I mean, the Black Lives Matter movement is not only across cricket. I mean, we've seen across motorsport where Lewis Hamilton campaigns for it so much. We've seen in tennis where Naomi Osaka has spoken out so much about it. And it's continued, you know, even in the NBA, it's something that is currently being spoken about. And I think with us, for me as a young Black woman, it's something that needs to be addressed because I am within the minority. It's something that I'm probably going to face within my career. I mean, it's one of the obstacles that will continue to come up. But also, it shouldn't necessarily come up every single time whenever we want to divert issues in a certain manner. We want to bring up things such as racism. And we know, or the fact that, you know, Black Lives Matter, we know how tricky that situation is. And it tempts people so much to, you know, go astray from what we're actually trying to do. But I feel that we are going in the right direction, saying all the right things, and also speaking to all the right people. The minute we conversate on this, that's half the battle won.
Wow, I love what you said, because it is true. Every time I find England visits South Africa, quotas, transformation, race becomes weaponized. It's what we talk about. My challenge with the way Black Lives Matter has been handled in the media is once Lungi Ngidi stood up and we all said, I stand with Lungi Ngidi, over the last 4 months, how has the media approached the reporting of Black Lives Matter? Because in the press conference with Mark Boucher the other day, he was asked immediately, will you take a knee? I think it's so unfair because here are the players who have to go out and win. Here are the players who have got to be the best ambassadors of the game. They've got to be everything that is great about the game. And then we start weaponizing BLM at a time when South African cricket has so desperately been waiting for some live cricket action. Kerwin, what's your view on this?
Yeah, there's a couple of points, so interesting points that have been raised. Just to add to that, looking at Kagiso Rabada's comments, and Lebobalo touched on it earlier on that too often the Black Lives Matter topic or movement or discussion centers around the exclusion. So if you are pro Black Lives Matter, then surely you must be excluding something else, and it's something that I've people just seem to grapple with this. And Kagiso mentioned that as a team they've actually decided to focus on gender-based violence.
Which is the big talking point. I mean, tomorrow we start with 16 days of a campaign that has become a big talking point.
Exactly. And, it sort of, certainly for me, it raises the question around, are we, have we communicated that correctly, that, Black Lives Matter, or being pro Black Lives Matter, or being for it, does not mean to the exclusion of something else. And, have we perhaps, gone too far, from a South African perspective, to find that, oh, great, someone, in sports says, I'm for Black Lives Matter, we've ticked that symbol, and we move on. We sort of ticked what we needed to do, for our own sort of social appeasement in the back of our minds. I agree with you. I think the ECB did a great job, but I think the ECB will also kind of pushed into a corner in terms of their own situation and what they're dealing with in England. They're dealing with.
Well, listen, I mean, when I look at this BLM situation, I say, let's draw a line in the sand, and let's start being consistent in how we talk about BLM, how we report on it, how we keep everyone honest in terms of them delivering change at every level of cricket. But for now, guess what? Vinay and the world champions are in South Africa. We've got to get excited about this tour and actually believe that potentially there's a chance that South Africa could do well. Vinay, how confident are you walking in here with the world champion tag?
Very confident, very, very confident. We've got, it's actually going to be very, very evenly balanced, I think, as a series, but we've got the greatest players in the world playing against each other, but I think obviously with England will out edge South Africa on the field, so it'll be good.
Well, I'm going to invite Fatima from the Pop Increase to present to us what she thinks the South African team should be. And then I'm going to bring in some of you to give your views on her selection. Fatima, I believe some of the people that looked at your selection weren't too happy with you, Ms. Convener.
Yes, I personally picked a side for the first game only, which I think some people misunderstood. And do you want me to run through the players who I selected?
Yes, please do. And then I'm going to choose Nishka first up to give us her first view on the team.
Okay, so I have Quinton, and then I've had Janneman Malan opening with him. The reason being, they seem to work really well together. We saw that in the MSL last year. They were very attacking. Janneman is young. He's got a long future ahead of him, fingers crossed. I think they complement each other really well. I've got Faf in at 3 because you need someone with a wise head, former leader. He's going to be able to, if it happens to be an early wicket, he can stabilize the innings. He's good between the wickets. He's good in the field. I've got Reza in at 4, which most people had the biggest issue with, because firstly, Reza should be opening according to them, and why isn't Bavuma in the team? But Reza is a fantastic T20 cricketer. We've seen that in the MSL for South Africa. We know his credentials in the T20 cricket. And I think he's good. He can hit the ball far and wide, and he can stabilize the middle order a little bit. I've then gone for Heinrich Klaasen and Carl Verreynne in the middle. We saw what they did against Australia earlier this year. We've seen what Verreynne has done for the 6-gun grill Cobras. He's been phenomenal with the bat. He's a fantastic keeper, and he's potentially the next keeper after Quinton. So I think the more experience he gets, the better. I've got George Linder as my spinner, and I made the point in my preview article that it's fantastic with the T20 World Cup in India next year that South Africa have 4 quality spinners in their squad. And I want to see all of them play in the summer. But for now, I want to see what Linder can do in the Proteas shirt for T20. So I want to see what he can do. And he's good with the bat as well. I'm resting KG for this T20 series, given all the workload he had in the IPL, given the hectic schedule South Africa have this coming summer. I don't think they need him in the T20s, given the bowling lineup that they do have. So I've got Lungi Ngidi, Anrik Nokia, and I want to give Glenton Spearman, I hope I said that correctly.
Glenton Spearman, yes.
Yes, I want to see him get his debut.
Wow, it's a very interesting team. I said I'm going to bring Nishka in first up, and Nishka, I'm just going to throw it at you. No Temba Bavuma, no Kagiso Rabada. You're a Wanderers faithful. You're part of that Wanderers setup. How do you feel about two of them not part of this first T20 according to the Popping Crease?
Well, I agree with resting KG because, I mean, the IPL was a bit hectic for him. However, I do think that Reza should open the batting with Quinton. Given his history in the MSL, he was, I think, the top run scorer last year. Not sure, and he plays very well opening. So that's the only thing I would change, and then obviously, KG resting is fine.
It is a 24-man squad, so I think you've got so many options there. And when I look at the Popping Crease's team, the one thing that stood out for me is the fact that there are potentially 3 wicket keepers in that team. And at one stage, I think we were struggling with a backup wicket keeper, Cabello. What do you make of the selection?
Well, I don't agree with resting KG.
Oh, look at you. You just want KG to play all the time.
That, and also I think that because we haven't played like national teams in such a long time, that will be a great sort of series to just have the whole sort of squad play together. So I think KG needs to come in just to see how he plays with the Proteas side again.
Okay, so you say KG should play, whether or not we like it. You want to rest him. If you want to get the upper hand, Rabada's your
bring
guy.
in KG. Plus, we are playing against the world champions, so bring your top side. And
the Pavina's not happy at all. She's shaking her head. She cannot believe that the meeting's not agreeing with her.
And I would also bring Timber. I think he's a good batsman. So I'd bring him in. So that's the changes I would make.
Okay. KG's #1 supporter, Cabello, don't miss him. He'll be there. And shouting from the stands when we're allowed back in the stadium. Lubabala, you were shaking your head vigorously. I don't know whether that is because you were disagreeing with bringing KG back or what was it?
Okay, mine is, I understand the whole idea behind trying to rest KG, but I think there's one thing that we need to be aware of, the fact that players get better the more they play. You don't just rest them for the sake of resting them. If KG is 100% fit, there's no need to rest him. The more he bowls, the better he gets. And remember, we're building up to the T20 World Cup. So you want your bowlers to have a lot of overs under their belts. So for me, I'm having KG back. And the other thing is building up to the World Cup. The World Cup is in India. We are playing, I think, in Paul. Those are the closest conditions to what we're going to get in India. So you want to have 2 spinners in the side. So I'm not going in with, I'm going in with Linde definitely as one of our spinners. But Glenton's missing out for Shamsi. And then Kyle Verreynne is also missing out. Yaneman Malan's also going to miss out for Temba.
Oh, wow, look at you.
Temba's definitely one of our best players of spin, by the way. Yaneman Malan struggles. He struggles against spin, still struggling against spin. I watched a couple of his dismissals in the four-day cricket. He's still struggling against spin. Temba has better numbers than him. Temba and Quinton, they've done so well together in T20s, opening the batting. So, and also Temba has the international experience compared to Yaneman Malan. So I'm having Temba back in. Reza is also going to miss out. If you want to play Reza, the only place where you can bat him is at 1. He's a slow starter even in T20s. He wants to face most of the balls for him to actually kick on. So if you're going to have him at 4, sometimes he's going to have to come in after 15 overs. Are you saying Reza can do it after 15 overs? I'm not sure. I'd rather have I know
Basically,
a lot
he's
of
destroyed
people
your
might not like
entire
this,
lineup.
but
Your lineup does not exist anymore.
I'm bringing in a David Miller. I know a lot of people are probably going to boo me.
You are not allowed to be so disruptive. You have now taken away her job as the convener. but I'm a little worried because I'll tell you why. We played no cricket. I'm saying we as South Africa, trying to just talk the language that is real right now. South Africa hasn't played since March. And Vinay, if you look at your team as England, there is no real concern. There's been so much cricket under the belt that you've got quite a steady setup there.
Yeah, look, I think we've got a very, very deep squad. Firstly, if KG isn't playing, I think that's fantastic because he's one of the best bowlers for South
That is
Africa.
so unfair, Vinay. I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, no, he's done so well in the IPL, but but rightly so. I mean, some players do need to be given rest, but even Nortje was pretty good as well. But I think if we look at England, yeah, look, every kind of position has a very good backup as well. So if you look at their batting, you've got the likes of Roy, Bairstow, Butler. You've got Owen Morgan as the leader. And then you've got the all-rounder, Ben Stokes. And we've got David Boland, who's waiting to be unleashed because he's like number one T20 batsman in the world. Then in terms of the bowling lineup, well, there's a whole array of bowlers from Archer, Wood, the Curran brothers. Then you've got spin bowling with Adil Rashid. So it's a very, very good England squad. It's been such a long time since we've had great depth where we can rotate and give other players the opportunity. So, like I said before, it's going to be a very, very good contest.
Well, it's great to have this virtual Six of the Best live on YouTube with some fantastic cricket fans. I want to bring in two amazing sisters now, Janine and Jessica October. I love putting out applications for involvement because then I hear stories. It's not just about people applying. So I want to bring in Janine and Jessica and a wonderful story about these two young women. They absolutely love cricket. And one of the things they did to get closer to the game is both of them went off and did umpiring level 1 courses. Janine and Jessica, welcome to Six of the Best. It's so good to have you both on.
Hi, I'm so glad for us to be here. It really is an opportunity. Thank you for the experience. Sorry about earlier.
Well,
I don't know what
it's so
happened.
good that I'm so glad that you applied because when I saw your story, I thought we all start somewhere. I remember being 14 years old when I heard Donna Simmons commentate, and I said to my parents, "That's it. I'm going to be the first woman to commentate in South Africa," and it's because I was able to see that. You're in a position now to be able to go off and do umpiring courses and potentially one day become someone big in cricket. How does it feel to be on a session like this today, to be among people who are so passionate about the game?
I think if I can say something, I think these are the kind of sessions or these kind of platforms that we really need. And I think it only was made possible because of, unfortunately, we have to owe it to the pandemic. This is only possible because of that. So, I mean, so we can always look at our opportunities that came through the negative things. And I think that this has been such a beautiful opportunity for us as well to not just call yourself a fan, but to actually physically do things that you can feel like, I'm really involved. Like, so the umpiring course thing was just something we just decided to do. Like, we were just like, let's just try something.
How are you going to take it forward? What are you going to do? What's the big thing?
That's a good question. So we hope to obviously find our feet maybe at a higher level, maybe of umpiring and understanding the game, not just from the player perspective or from the fans perspective, but from the umpiring perspective. And I think it really opened our eyes because we started seeing things we never even knew existed just from that perspective. So it's amazing and it's a beautiful experience so far. I can't stop smiling.
I can see you can't stop smiling, and I think you are not going to be able to sleep tonight because I am going to introduce you to Lauren Achenbach, who is a 20-something-year-old umpire who is going to be, I would say, one of the greatest in the world. And I think Lauren would love to chat to the two of you. So I'm going to put the call to Lauren, and I'm going to ask her to have a chat with you because sometimes you just need one person to say something great that will change the life. But thank you for being on the session. I'm so glad you came on. I know you're nervous and shy, but this is family, right? Six of the Best. We're here for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Absolutely. So, Selena, I want to bring you back in because Selina's always very busy. Let me bring Ora Bile back in. I want to be able to see how we can help hook different people up, because this is what Six of the Best is. Orabile, what can I do for you tonight that would change your life in cricket?
Whoa.
I know. I told you come prepared. I don't just come here for the tea.
You
I
don't
want to have
come
a
that.
chat. I want to know what we can do.
Oh my word. I thought this alone was the dream, but I get to have more.
Yes.
Kass, for me, I've always wanted to strengthen my writing, particularly when it comes to cricket. So the one thing I think I would definitely want to ask is if I could get a little bit of lessons on how to make sure that my story is exciting and tells all the facts and it's not ambiguous. So just to, get all the details into my writing, but make it a flowing story and understandable throughout.
I'm going to help you. I'm firstly going to chat to you, and then I'm going to introduce you to Sipokazi Sokanile, who is the Proteas media officer, who joined Cricket South Africa at the age of 19 as an intern, and over a decade later is one of the most powerful women in the game. An excellent writer, but more than that, just someone that you can hold up as a role model. So I'm going to introduce her to you, but we're also going to keep in touch because I have some great advice for you.
All right,
Nishka,
thank you.
Let me bring Nishka in. Nishka, let me wave my magic wand for you. What can I do to help you in cricket?
Help me with speaking about cricket, because I'm not that confident when it comes to speaking.
Do you see yourself as a broadcaster at some stage, or do you see yourself behind the scenes? What is the one role in cricket that appeals to you?
I think broadcaster.
Yeah. So you got to get out of the shyness. That's why I was trying to pick on Selena, because she's so shy. And you've got to become an alter ego when you get onto TV if you're shy. Some people are just naturally so gifted and can get onto air and just have a chat. Ray Jennings was like that. He would literally 5 to the hour be able to switch on from anywhere. But you and I are going to have a chat, because there's always something you can start to move something along. Yeah, I think that is always so important.
Okay, thanks.
Russell Rennicker, let me bring you in. I want you to give some advice to parents about young cricketers, budding cricketers. It's been the pandemic. We've barely been able to get our kids out to cricket coaching. What's your advice to parents?
Wow. So for me, I definitely start off firstly is keeping them excited, passionate about the game. It's something as a coach I always try and promote, especially in school cricket. As you go higher up, the pressures to win, schools want to be number one on this list, on that list. But for me, it's definitely keeping the enjoyment, the excitement. And again, having us broadcast live cricket again, it's definitely going to play an impact. So get the kids watching. I remember growing up, watching it, even the 4-day game. I'm a red ball guy as opposed to a white ball guy, purist. But all those things, it's just keep them excited, drills at home, little fun games, especially like you said, the younger ones, and play with them. It's been tough for them, as I was saying to you earlier, but definitely that first at the top of my list would always be just keep them excited, and they love and passion.
I've got all 3 of them at cricket again. And we finally managed to get Ella a women coach, which is amazing because it's changed how she sees her cricket. Vinay, let me bring you in about your young boy. I want to give you an opportunity to tell us about your young son. I call him a future England player because he's got a dad who supports him like no other. Vinay, I'm going to bring you back in.
Yeah, no, thank you. So my son is turned 12. He's Rohan Handa, and he started to play cricket with me out on the street, playing football as you do in the street. And then we started to play cricket at the age of 6, I think he was. And we used a lamppost as a wicket, and we used to just play out in the street. And it all started from there, really. He joined a local village club, where I helped coach as well, over the kind of 4 years he spent at that club. And so from 6, 7 years old, he's joined the club. That first year, He went through his county trials, he got through, and ever since he's been playing for Hampshire County since the age of 7. And we moved last year from Hampshire to Surrey, but he still plays for Hampshire. And down the road from us, we're very fortunate to have the Rajasthan Royals UK Academy, which he joined last year. And that academy is just fantastic. And so he's part of that setup as well. And I don't know where to keep on carrying on, but basically in terms of his cricket, he's a leg spin all-rounder. And yeah, look, he loves the game. I think there was a comment earlier on about you've got to keep the excitement and make sure they enjoy it. That's that is 100% what should be done with kids. They should be having fun with the game and enjoy the game. And so that's, for me, as long as he enjoys the game, then he'll develop fine. So since we've been in lockdown here in England, look, he's been posting YouTube video clips of doing stuff around the house, doing a sock ball dangling from a door, just like batting that around. He's in the hallway, we've got stumps set up, he's bashing the ball against the hallway thing on the stairs. He's doing a variety of drills that he's sharing with his club academy, and from there he was then we sent some videos into Sky Sports, and he was able to be featured on Sky Sports Cricket when England were playing like the West Indies and Pakistan. And ever since then, his profile has just been building and building. So we're kind of keeping him on that journey. And look, he's 12 years old. He has got his future ahead of him in terms of where he wants to take it. But like I said, the key thing is as long as he's enjoying it, I'm sure he'll go far on it.
Well, listen, you're a great dad. I love the way you support him. You're always punting him. I can see when he's out there at Lord's representing his country, you're going to be one proud dad. Thank you for sharing that story. There's so many proud parents on this. So I'm going to be that proud mom to say, come on, Cohen, tell us about your son. How is it going? Are you back at cricket with him, Cohen?
So we're not back at cricket. We're actually busy with his exams this week, so it's pretty tense at home.
It's a bit of a weird time, isn't it?
It is, but as Russell's alluded as well, it's about keeping them, interested, excited, keeping them, with the focus, or just almost just a reminder. This is what it was about. This is what it was like. My son plays pretty much all disciplines, so he's a sports nut. My daughter is 6 as well. She's
get into cricket.
I don't know whether
she. World Cup coming. Come on.
Yeah,
I don't care if you want to be a YouTuber. Just play cricket.
Exactly. I've got a ton of YouTube videos that I need to upload in December. So no, it's just about fun. I think for now, certainly at their age, it's about having fun and enjoying it, and building on that as they grow into the game.
We don't want to bore the people that aren't parents, but we do get a bit gushy about our kids, especially when they stroke that ball through the covers before, and you try not to celebrate too hard, but you do. It's my favorite thing to do on a Saturday morning, sitting on the boundary rope and just watching under 11s get so hot under the collar. And I think, they still have got years to travel before they become Proteas players. But what a great journey for us all. Fatima, I want to celebrate you. I want to celebrate you tonight. The popping crease, 4th birthday. I think an incredible journey ahead for you. But tell us about how it feels having walked for 4 years and what you've achieved so far and where you want to go with it.
You were speaking earlier about wanting to be a broadcaster, getting out of your shell. I am super introverted. I am super shy. I don't like talking to new people. I prefer emails over phone calls. Cricket, when I talk cricket, that's when I come out of my shell. And my husband has made the comment that since I've been doing this, I'm so much more confident. My cat's sneezing next to me, sorry.
Bring the cat in. It's a family show, really.
This is him.
Hello. Is he a cricket fan?
He does watch with me, yes. Yeah.
He has to. With the amount of cricket you watch, I love the fact that you're so on the ball. And I know it's not easy. Everybody thinks they can score cricket and everyone thinks they can keep you up to date. How do you remain as consistent as you are? Because you've got great support globally for the work that you do.
It's very difficult. I sometimes get a bit flustered if there are multiple games on at the same time, but I think I've found a way that it works. I try not to make it too complicated. If there's a big milestone thing, I make sure I'm there for that. But it's been 4 years. I think I'm pretty used to it now. So I may complain from time to time if there's a big cricket season, like it's going to be from now. But I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I see great things coming from you. I think I've said this before, and I think you know that you have my full support, and I love watching you grow. I'm so glad you're on the session tonight. I'm sorry we picked your team apart, but I mean, really, no Bavuma. I'm kidding. We're not going to go back there.
Can I just say about my team? The reason
so what we're going to do is we're going to do predictions, but I also just want to sensitize anyone. If you've got family who want to jump onto the call at the end to scream and say goodbye, get them in, because I'm going to bring the kids in just now. Pets, anybody, a South African flag, that's also family, or an English flag. Vinay, I'm trying not to leave you out of this conversation. Kabelo, I'm going to start with you. Predictions for the T20 series. I'm not going to look too far ahead to the ODI series, but give us a prediction.
Okay, so I think the first game, I think England might win just because they've played more games than we have.
Yeah.
So I think they have like an advantage there.
You gotta go.
So yeah, but I think we'll still take the series. I think we'll win the remaining games of the T20.
Okay, Mishka, you're next. Prediction.
I think 2-1. South Africa 2-1.
Okay, 2-1, Nishka. Janine and Jessica, you have 2 predictions. You can both disagree with each other.
Okay, you go. No, it's fine. I think
you go.
I agree with I agree with the first person. We will probably let them win the first one just so they can feel like they got things under control, and then we'll just kind of like win the rest, and they'll just be like, "What the heck is happening?" kind of thing.
I have to bring England in here. This is going way too well for South Africa. England, bring us back down to earth.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you?
Okay.
I mean, I also kind of feel the same way. I mean, what you said, what Kabelo said, I think England might actually start off quite strong, and then, but maybe South Africa can warm up quickly and not take too long to warm up. Then we can just like, second game, and then just like win the rest of the tournament. That's what I think.
Pro South African. Vinay, do you think we have any rights to even be slightly optimistic about a South African positive result in the T20 series?
Just to let you know, we've got Rowan who's joined.
Hello, Rowan.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm about to get off air shortly and watch your YouTube videos and share them to my young children, so I can't wait, and I'm going to give feedback to your dad.
Cool. But yeah, no, like I said, we're looking forward to the contest, but I think you've got to put England as the overall favourite, given the results from last year and the cricket they've been playing. But we'll be eagerly seeing every match here in England, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, I am now. Let's see who. Let me see if I can get Luke up. Say hi, Luke. Hi. Okay, so who wants to go next? Russell, let's hit a prediction from you and be realistic about it.
I think definitely closely contested. England world champs, so I think more pressure on them coming into this. And I think just with a lot of our big guns performing, having a good IPL, I think confidence might be up a bit. So closely contested, but South Africa all the way, definitely from my side.
Say hi to Ella. This is Ella. Say hi.
Ella. And I'm also definitely going. And Cage is in the first game for me.
At the same time, so sorry about that. So you saying South Africa are going to win?
South Africa are going to win. Like I said, closely contested, and I'd like to see Cage in the first game.
Okay. All right, that's an interesting one. Cohen?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, look at this. Come, Dan, come and have a look. Look at the kitties. Say hi. Hello. Are you all going to vote for South Africa in a T20 series with Cohen? It looks like it. You look very patriotic there.
Yeah, I've got a big vote of yes from our side. Just in terms of performance, I actually think we might start really slowly. I hope we don't, but I think we might struggle in the T20s, but I think they'll come on strong towards the end as the guys get into the years as well.
Well, I'll tell you what my prediction is. My prediction is a damn good series, a damn good T20 series. I mean, let's be honest. You don't want a one-sided affair with England winning everything. I'd love to see KG. Sorry, Fatima, but I'd love to see him in the T20 series. I think it would be amazing. But it sounds like everyone thinks South Africa are going to win. So let's go South Africa, go. But also, can we just say how amazing it is to have the world champions on home soil after months of no cricket? So Vinay, we so appreciate having top competition to really take us on. And we really appreciate having you on the call, especially Six of the Best. I'm glad it wasn't just all South African. We would not have probably even mentioned England. That's kind of what we do. So guys, we need to do this again. I'm not sure how often we're going to do it, but I enjoyed it. I'm not sure about you. I hope you enjoyed it. And maybe a big old go cricket. Forget go South Africa. Go cricket, because it's all about the game, isn't it? We all love it. So on the count of 3, we're going to say go cricket. 3, 2, 1. Guys, it was so awesome to have you on. You all have my personal details. Get in touch. And thank you so much for subscribing to the newsletter. It's such a lovely community that is growing and developing. And this has been such fun. I'm so glad we managed to get it together. So let's stay in touch and let's keep chatting. And Fatima, happy birthday for today. Hip hip hooray to Fatima.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and all the very best to you. Have a great series.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Russell. Cheers, everyone. Have a good